Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Over the past decade, halal tourism has gone from a niche academic interest to a recognized field of study. We now have journals, frameworks, and a growing body of research. But growth doesn't always mean depth, and more importantly, it doesn't always mean relevance. So today's discussion is not about celebrating the field, but re-interrogating it and what kind of research will actually move the industry forward. To unpack this, we have two perspectives. First, we have Dr. Professor Battour, Associate Professor at Asharkia University. His area of expertise includes Islamic management and halal tourism. He has been a speaker on matters of Islamic marketing and halal tourism for many conferences. Now, joining with us today, Dr. Anang Sutono, Associate Professor at National Hotel Institute of Bandung Tourism Polytechnic and former Senior Advisor to the Indonesian Ministry of Tourism. He has been deeply involved in shaping Indonesia's tourism strategy, including leading initiatives in halal tourism development and national destination planning, with decades of experience bridging academic and policy. So our first questions to Dr. Professor Battour. Professor, you've been publishing on halal tourism since the field barely exists. You have seen it grow from a handful of papers into a recognized body of scholarship. If you had to grade the current state of halal tourism research in terms of depth, rigor, and practical relevance, what mark would you give?
Okay, thank you so much for considering to give me this opportunity to be with you here. It's my pleasure actually, and my greeting to Prof. Anang, Rani as well. So if I need to answer this question, it is actually a long time ago when I started to publish in this area, my first paper on 2008-9. This is my first paper published. It's about towards halal tourism market in Scopus journal. If I have to grade the current state of halal tourism research, I can say it is around 9 to 10 out of 10 compared to what we have maybe started early. So I say this because I personally experienced at the early stage of the field when I started to publish in halal tourism years ago. It was actually very, very difficult to publish or to find journal to accept to publish this kind of paper, especially some editor do not accept to or convince it to halal tourism as good sectors or maybe it was very serious or independent research field. So at this time the topic was maybe observed as a niche, descriptive, very limited only to Muslim travelers. But today, yes, situation has changed dramatically. Why? Because now halal tourism, so many people publish not only in Journal of Islamic Marketing. Now we move from very niche market to mainstream journal like Tourism Management, Journal of Analysis of Tourism Research, Tourism Review. So many paper actually, so many journals accepted to publish on this. The issue now, the field moved from from margins or niche to mainstream. So another positive sign is that many recent papers published not only in definition, conceptual paper, researchers are now trying to solve real problems related to experience, digital transformation, AI, Muslim-friendly experience. So, but if you ask what actually is preventing the field from becoming even stronger, I would say still we need some papers or some journal accepted some topics that researchers go beyond theory. They move from conceptual theory to be repeating existence model repeated for many journals. So also there are many papers in longitudinal study, cross-cultural studies. We need stronger collaboration between industry and academia. So, and I can say more innovative methodology now need to be beyond traditional survey, only survey, collecting data and quantitative data. But I believe the future of halal tourism will depend on whether we can position it not only as a religious tourism, but as a part of global discussion on ethical or inclusive, on experience-driven tourism. So at the end, overall, I am very optimistic about this because now the halal tourism sectors is growing in terms of publishing paper in academia. So many journals, top-ranked journals, accept the topic now to be published. So I'm optimistic, inshallah. We will go beyond only niche market and will go to be mainstream or be one of the tourism sector in the global tourism. So inshallah will be more better than before. Thank you so much. This is my answer.
Alhamdulillah, I do agree with Prof. Battour regarding the broad perspective of halal tourism. Now we move to Dr. Anang. Dr. Anang, do you agree with Prof. Battour assessment? Like, where you sit right now, especially in Southeast Asia, does this field look stronger or weaker than that? What's your point of view on that, Dr. Anang?
Well, thank you very much indeed. It is truly my great pleasure to meet Professor Dr. Battour and Rani. So it is also my appreciation. Prof. Battour, I do really agree. Any single statements coming from you, because I've been also serving my academia perspective in line with halal tourism, or what is it called? Indonesia right now is getting much more popular with the Muslim-friendly tourism. This is also one of our, what is it called? Unfinished debating with the terminology, but that is still fine for me. Well, related to the question, whether most specifically Muslim-friendly tourism or halal tourism in Southeast Asia is getting stronger or weaker, well, it depends on the perspective, I guess. If we see from the perspective of academia, well, let's say I do absolutely agree with the statement coming from Prof. Battour that we are getting stronger. The platform, the journal publisher, even what it is, I guess it is owned by Prof. Battour himself, is Q1, Islamic Marketing, if I'm not right. So it is getting bigger and bigger, getting stronger and stronger. I'm very confident that for the next future time will be much better. That is from the perspective of academia. When I see from the different perspective from the industry, let's say, well, I would say, frankly, that seeing those kind of perspective can be seen from this is my opinion, Prof. Battour, from what so-called pentahelix, or it is increasing not only pentahelix but hexahelix. Means that there are 6 bounded elements that is merged together, involved together. Well, of course, seeing from the academic perspective, then there must be another element that is very close related. If we can see from the government and tourism authorities, well, I think right now, if I can see from Indonesia itself, Thailand, and then Singapore, of course, Malaysia, right? And then whether it is OIC or non-OIC countries, even Germany, even Korean, even Japan, and many other countries, still that they are now focusing on Muslim-friendly tourism in the perspective of government and tourism authorities. Means that if we are trying to find the gaps, what kind of the gap is actually in the perspective of ourselves, Prof. Battour? Well, of course, we are always saying that what is the intention of government seeing from the state earning? Well, I guess government is talking about something which is more, what is it called, more feasible. Well, they are creating a kind of government policy, government regulation. They have to focus on how the state earning is coming. That is if it is international tourist arrival. But if it is seen from the perspective of a domestic Muslim travelers mobility, we see that the economic, microeconomic sustainability and how dynamic it is influencing. So I think there are a lot of homework from the perspective of research. I think it is not only from the government and tourism authorities, but industry perspective. You know, Pak Battour, when I say industry means that it is quite simple. When we say accommodation, the hotel is thinking about something which is very simple. When they claim that I'm Muslim-friendly tourism accommodation and hotel, and then I trying to get the certification from the authority, and then it is not improving the return on investment. It is not improving the room occupancy. It is not improving the quality of the, the quality of break-even point. Then he is going to say, nothing is different. So it means that we have to search more in line with how the gaps of the research connecting between what we are thinking as the academia and going down to what happened in the research, business research entity. I think it is my statement. Principally, even in Southeast Asia, I do believe that it is getting stronger, but we need more collaborative partners to make the good quality of our research. I think that is my point. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anang. I totally agree with your point of view, taking back of the research with the current industry demand. So now we move into the second segment of our discussion today. So yeah, let's get a slightly uncomfortable regarding this research-dominated field. And we know certain topics have been dominated this halal field. For example, halal food certifications, Muslim traveler motivations, satisfactions of studies. So to both of our speaker today, perhaps we can start with Prof. Battour. Prof, what have we over-researched to the point that we're diminishing the returns? And more importantly, from your point of view, why does this field keep going back to the same topics?
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, this is very interesting questions because if I tell a story about this kind of topic in my background as a deputy editor-in-chief in Journal of Islamic Marketing, we receive many topics go around same area. We have halal food certification, destination image, theory of planned behavior, revisit intention. So many topics around this. So of course, these are very important topics, but if we go beyond this, we need to establish foundation of the field. Not only this same point repeated in the same variables in another country, just replication, so from Indonesia to be Malaysia, from Malaysia to be China, whatever. Yani. So we need to start giving diminishing academic and practical value. This is the point. Sometimes we study actually simply replacing only one destination in another while it's almost the same framework in terms of quantitative research. So I think the field keep turning in the same topic, but what we need to do now, in my opinion, we have some major areas still need some more deep explanation and research, especially in Muslim-friendly tourism experience, not only in surface satisfaction, because we know already we have done many papers about Muslim tourism satisfactions. We need holistic experience of Muslim travelers. We need some solidation or foundations about this. I can say we have still some gaps, and especially for Muslim customer journey. This one will, of course, maybe increase industry background and also increase theoretical background. So, for example, we have some mini gaps. I always told my PhD students, for those who starting to do research about this, we need some research in emotional experience for Muslim traveler, spiritual comfort. How can we study family dynamics, especially from digital experience, trust, psychology, safety, all these topics still we have gaps. Even also we have sometimes we write this in future research recommendations for some papers that we need to go beyond the same topic. Another gaps which I always highlight, and I think I have one project about this nowadays, we have to find list of standardization or standardized Muslim-friendly tourism. Either index, maybe يعني something related to framework. Of course, this one will يعني, help us as an academic or as a practitioner also to understand all the dynamic work in Muslim-friendly tourism. Right now, of course, we have different destinations. يعني they try to standardize or interpret, at least like Indonesia, Malaysia, they have some standardized. But still we have inconsistency for what exactly the framework for Muslim tourism, Muslim friendly tourism. I know CrescentRating, every year they try to update like Rida, whatever they still we have also some inconsistencies. So this is a gap we need to focus more in the future. I believe the future of يعني, halal tourism, especially in terms of research or Muslim friendly tourism, we need to go for beyond theoretical. So no need to repeat again the same theory, same topic as you mentioned, satisfaction, certificate. We need to go beyond this. That is what I think the next real contribution will come from. We go beyond this same topic. We need to find a solution for industry. We need to fill the gap between what exactly in the industry and what exactly in academia. I think I agree with Prof. Anang about this. So this is my answer for this question. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Yes, I totally agree. There are so many visible gap beyond the researchers and how it being keep repetitive among the researchers. Now we move back to Dr. Anang, coming from academic background and a policymaker background. Dr. Anang, do you agree on the fact that this research is actually being keep repetitive? What's your point of view?
Yes, yes. Well, I'm blessed. I'm very happy also when I was, and I'm still being as the journal editors and journal reviewers. And then most of the manuscript or articles submitted to that journal, then I saw at glance that, oh, this is a kind of repetition, and so on. I don't think that the authors are based on the needs, wants, and the demand, what so-called coming from the industry based. I think if we are seeing from the main beneficial values of tourism, one of the most beneficial values for tourism is what so-called economic beneficial values. When we are talking about economic beneficial values in Muslim-friendly tourism, means that if we go down, we are going to focus on industry entity, or in the small thing is a business. Means that if we can try to, what is it called, to reconnecting again any kind of ideas coming from researchers, trying to dig out what is it, the needs, want, and the demand coming from industry perspective or business perspective, that will be really good. Because seeing from, I see business people thinking about very short-term period. If they are not getting the beneficial values of that research, they are saying, oh, this is theoretical points of view. This is not solving my problem. Oh, my return on investment is still very low. How can I convince my customer, which is non-Muslim, that they are also being served in good quality in my hotel? So I think there must be a broadened ideas, broaden a topic and needs, want, and experiences. What is it coming from industry should be, the main topic that should be elaborated. Secondly, I'm thinking about what it has been spoken by Prof. Battour in line with how can we standardize? Well, standardization is very, very important. Of course, Indonesia has a standard, very complicated. Sorry, Prof. Battour, I would say it is exhausted sometimes by industry saying, oh, I give up, I have no more ideas how to apply this because this is difficult and so on and so on. I'm not sure about Malaysia and other countries, but I do agree that actually we have to simplify. Simplifying doesn't mean that we, what is it called, we doesn't pay fully attention on the Islamic teaching. We of course, once again, we have to pay fully attention on the Islamic teaching. But the authority, the certification, halal tourism certification authorities should give more simple criteria that can be really adopted by the industry. I'm thinking also, Prof. Battour, when I went to Thailand and I went to Cambodia, they have a very simple certification. You know, the Muslim Authority Certification Body from the Thailand spoke to me, then, Pak Anang, this is quite easy in Thailand. This is quite this. And then I'm trying to do a kind of research. I think I have shared to Prof. Battour as well in line with the remodeling of Muslim-friendly tourism ecosystem. So I proposed only two standard of certification. It should be based on the fundamental principle of the basic needs of the Muslim travelers. That is the first criteria. And the second criteria is only what is the needs and experiences needed by the visitor or the tourist coming to our destination or coming to our hotel. I think we should be able to sit down in one forum. Well, we get together, we try to harmonize the standardization. I think CrescentRating has a good idea to collect many standard coming from different countries, and I think we can sit down together and we can simplify, because the most important thing that the memorable Muslim traveler experience will be number one, because it will be impacting to the industry life. Because when the industry is happy, the business people is happy, I think there will be a trickle down effect. Even though I would say that the farmer vegetables is going to be served in good quality. I think this is my short opinion in line with that questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Anang. Such a very broad topic to be discussed, and I totally agree that there's a certain demand or expectation from the industry player as well. Now, we move into the last sections of our conversation, which is to find the commission between our discussion today. So, yeah, to Dr. Battour, if you could commission 3 research projects tomorrow that would have be the biggest impact on halal tourism over the next 5 years, what would that be? What is your visions of the long-term preparation for the impact of halal tourism?
Okay. I always say that, especially for Islamic marketing or halal or Muslim friendly tourism, I always say knowledge without practice like a glass eye, all for show and nothing for use. Meaning that we need to connect between gaps in the in industry and what we need to apply in our research. I think the major issue in research nowadays, they try to create problems in their mind and try to solve this problem from their mind. So what we need to do in this is we need to find real research problem in our field. Then we need to connect between practitioners and academia. So if they close to each other, they maybe form a team, work together, they try to solve real problem. If I need to talk about 5 years potential, I always say this, because I repeat this one, very repeated question in any conference, in any seminar. Please, can you give me a gap to study next 5 years? It is not like this, not simple like this. You have to read and read and read, try to find some gaps in literature. What is the future research recommendation, and try to explore potential real problems in the industry, try to find some reports What is this report? Especially sometimes CrescentRating, Allahu Akbar, mashallah, they publish many reports about this. They can find gaps. So the issue is not to list down the topic. The issue is how can we apply the right methodology to find right real problem in the industry and also gaps in literature. But if I need to say, in my opinion, still we have some gaps. It is just we don't fully understand. For example, if I need to talk about religiosity, not all Muslims actually are fully practice Islam. So how can we different level of relationship, expectation, and satisfaction in Muslim-friendly tourism? Because as a Muslim, we are not homogeneous market. So this sometimes we need to understand. Another gap actually, which I'm working in nowadays as one of my project, how can destination communicate Muslim-friendly offering without appealing exclusively to non-Muslim? This is challenging because you offer some service to non-Muslim, and at some times you need to satisfy Muslims. Of course, we have clash now because the needs of Muslim is totally different from non-Muslim. So this also sometimes, how can we adapt? How much adaptation is enough to satisfy both non-Muslim and non-Muslim? This is challenging. We need more research. We need practitioners, industry to provide this kind of problems to academia. They try to solve this problem. So I cannot actually list down specific topics, but what I need to know, we need to different kind of topics that may be experience focused, interdisciplinary tourism, not only focus only on Muslim friendly tourism. We need other disciplinary that might be help us to understand more the full framework. So my question is, it's not simple to answer this kind of questions. We need to conduct good research, either qualitative research or quantitative or mixed methods. We focus more in quantitative, but we need some research that fill gaps to understand more, to create new knowledge, to solve real problems in real world. I think it is my answer for your questions. Hopefully, I get some points that help, inshallah, in the future. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prof. I actually agree with the point of view because I believe that Islam is rahmatan lil alamin. So any kind of halal tourism is not specific only limited to Muslims, but it should be non-Muslim as well, because Islam is the real rahmatan alamin to bring peace to all humankind. Now to Dr. Anang, to support this statement, Dr. Anang, what are the three kind of research or anything, it could be the research or research gap that you want to highlight and you want to prioritize as well, Dr. Anna?
Well, let me start by strengthening the statement coming from Prof. Battour and coming from Ranisya that tourism is for all. That is the thing that we have to underline. When we are talking about tourism is for all, means that whether it is religion background, cultural background, and any kind of background that should be accepted. If we see coming from UN, WTO, Global Code of Ethics for Tourism, it is close related. And then second thing, let me once again remind myself that actually what is the main vision of tourism? Tourism is improving people's quality of life. And then what is research in terms of education? Prof. Battour, I still remember what it is spoken by Nelson Mandela. Mr. Nelson Mandela is saying, education, of course, research inside is the most powerful weapon to improve people's quality of life. It means that when Ranisya asked me three fundamental things in line with the next research for the next 5 years, well, I listed many. At least there are 7 areas that we should focus, but I can simplify. Well, number one, I think, Prof. Battour, I think you agree with me when we are, as the academia, talking about epistemic area, epistemic values, means that knowledge delivery is very important. What happened in halal tourism right now, or in the Muslim-friendly tourism now, is the knowledge management is only in the tacit area, never going down into explicit area. So this is really a problem. So if we are going to think that if it is important to be number one, I think it will be giving the very good impact when we are talking about the epistemic value, means that how epistemologically and how knowledge value should be delivered in any kind of stakeholders, right? Secondly, well, tourism is a humanistic, means that humanistic tourism, well, of course, when it is close related to Muslim-friendly tourism destination, let's say, we are thinking about the humanistic tourism. What about the employability? What about the experience delivered by in a good quality and having a memorable experience? So number one is how can we focus on the transfer from the knowledge management, which is from the tacit to explicit, and secondly, we have to also thinking about humanistic tourism. We are talking about the employability. We are talking about certification. We are talking about good quality service in every Muslim-friendly destination, or in a hotel which is claimed as a Sharia hotel, or in any kind of Muslim-friendly hotel, and so on. And then the third, I'm still very concerned what so-called a digital maturity. I think digital maturity is something which is closely related to Internet of Things. I think I do agree what has been spoken by Prof. Battour that we have a lot of homeworks. Why digital maturity is very, very important. Well, we have learned, I guess, one of my favorite theory, Prof. Battour, is coming from Professor Nelly per push and pull factors, right? When we see Nelly talking about the tourism system, how can actually the international Muslim travelers' mobility could be seen from the perspective of push and pull factors. If we are seeing from those system of thinking, which is delivered by Professor Neleper, then we can see what is the approach is actually from the perspective of the Internet of Things. Well, I think we know, we can see that CrescentRating has also having the result of research that Z generation right now, and what is it called right now? The popular one is a strawberry generation. No, I think Rania is a strawberry generation, a McDonald's generation. So I think what is called e-collaborator means that starting from the beginning, when international tourists or international visitors, international Muslim travelers mobility want to decide whether I have to go to a certain destination or not, the first thing what they have think is look. Look means they are searching in many kind of references through media, right? And then the second thing, after look, and then they are doing a booking. What kind of booking a platform do I have to choose? And then the third one, do a book and then pay. What kind of payment method? Is it a Sharia-based payment method? Or is the payment method a platform is friendly with my identity as a Muslim travelers? So from look, book, pay, and then the activities. Of course, the activities will be really related to the basic or the fundamental needs, whether there will be a kind of availability of the halal food, halal ambience of the restaurants. Are they saying frankly that this is halal, this is not halal, and so on and so on. So the activities in a certain destination is very important because praying facilities is also very important. That's very fundamental. And after look, book, pay, and activities, the last thing is what so-called word of media. So those word of media, if we see that we are, before going to a certain destination, what I have to do is, of course, I'm going to search. I'm going to see the reviews. I'm going to see the net promoter scores. I'm going to see the Zomato. I'm going to see a lot of things coming from the perspective from different people. Then that is my decision. So they need what so-called e-collaborators. If we do a research, because I think this is also one of the critical gaps in line with the digital maturity, mean that the transformation to be getting much more awareness of how digital maturity of digital, what is it, Internet of Things should be delivered. Well, in short, I would say that actually there are a lot of things that we have to focus on, but we can elaborate those three things that I'm focusing. So the main challenging, Prof. Battour, is who is going to fund our research. I think this is also because when actually this is the beneficial for the industry or the what is it called? Our business, actually, business entities should also pay the contribution by giving a kind of support the budget for research, because good quality of research, of course, in my opinion, Prof. Battour, also should be supported by financial support, right? If we are depending on the government, let's say, government, I do believe that government has intention as state earning, right? So government is also responsible to give financial support, but how big it is. I was thinking about finding a foundation, a certain foundation like CrescentRating. If you are going to give a foundation, we can like joint collaboration, joint research collaboration between me, myself, my institution, of course, my honorable Professor Battour, my idol, because I think I took my, I cited my my research coming from Islamic International Islamic Journal Marketing. I'm not sure. I forgot the name. Am I right? Islamic marketing, something which is aligned with that. I love reading your, what is it, your archive. So thank you very much. Back to you, Rania. Thank you very much. Shukron. Wassalam.
Alhamdulillah, such a very, very insightful discussion for three of us here, especially for Dr. Anang and Prof. Battour. So yeah, we come end of the session today, and there's one thing that this discussion clear about is the future of halal tourism. Research is not about producing just a work that limited to Muslim, but producing the right work for all the humankind and tourism. So yeah, that challenge the assumptions and reflects the real world of complexity. And thank you so much for Professor Battour and Dr. Anang. And also thank you everyone for being part of this conversation. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.